In the quiet town of Nsukka, where the sun painted the earth gold each evening, and the sound of laughter drifted from every compound, lived two young women who were known by everyone, Amaka and Kamsi. They were more than friends. They were like sisters. From childhood, they shared everything: food, clothes, secrets, and dreams. If you saw one, you would see the other. People often said, if friendship had a face, it would look like Amaka and Kamsi. But as they grew older, life began to draw a subtle line between them. Amaka was gentle, kind, and full of warmth. She had a way of making people feel seen and valued. Opportunities seemed to find her effortlessly. When she applied for jobs, she was called. When she started a small business selling fabrics, customers flooded in. Even strangers trusted her at first sight. Kamsi, on the other hand, struggled. She worked just as hard, if not harder, but things never seemed to go her way. Her business failed, job applications were ignored, and slowly, without even realizing it, she began to compare her life to Amaka. At first, it was just a passing thought. Why is everything always working for her? Then it became a quiet question that visited her more often. What does she have that I don't? Before long, the question turned into something darker. Why does she deserve it more than me? Kamsi tried to silence these thoughts. After all, Amaka had never wronged her. She was always supportive, always generous. But envy does not need a reason. It only needs space. And Kamsi gave it space. It started with small betrayals. When Amaka got an invitation to partner with a bigger trader in the city, Kamsi forgot to tell her until it was too late. When customers asked about Amaka's shop, Kamsi would subtly discourage them. She's not always available, she would say. Her goods aren't as good as they look. Each time something went wrong for Amaka, she would sigh and say, maybe it's just one of those things. Then she would turn to Kamsi and smile. At least I have you. Those words pierced Kamsi's heart, but not enough to stop her. Instead, they made her bitterness grow. One afternoon, news spread through the town that changed everything. Amaka had been selected for an international business grant, an opportunity that would take her abroad and completely transform her life. The whole community celebrated her. Women danced, neighbors congratulated her, even elders blessed her future. Kamsi stood in the crowd, clapping with everyone else. But inside, something was breaking apart. That night, she sat alone in her room, staring into the darkness. Tears rolled down her face, not from sadness, but from anger. It should have been me, she whispered. That was the moment envy took full control. The next day, Kamsi visited an old herbalist on the outskirts of the town. A woman known for powerful and dangerous mixtures. I need something, Kamsi said, her voice low. Something that can make someone very sick, or worse. The herbalist looked at her carefully. My daughter, she said slowly, the road you are choosing has no return. What you give to another may come back to you. But Kamsi's heart had already hardened. I understand, she replied. She didn't. By evening, she returned home with a small bottle hidden in her bag. That same night, she invited Amaka over. Let's celebrate, Kamsi said with a smile. Before you travel, we should spend time together, just like old times. Amaka's face lit up with joy. I was hoping you'd say that, she replied, hugging her tightly. As Amaka entered the house, she brought gifts, food, drinks, and even a piece of cloth. I got this for you,
So you won't forget me when I'm gone. Kamsi forced a smile, her chest tightening for a brief moment. But she pushed the feeling away. As Amaka went to wash her hands, Kamsi quickly brought out the bottle. Her hands trembled as she poured the poison into one of the drinks. "This is it," she whispered. "After tonight, everything changes." When Amaka returned, they sat together, laughing and reminiscing about childhood memories. How they used to fetch water together, how they once got punished for stealing mangoes, how they promised never to leave each other. For a moment, Kamsi hesitated. Her eyes lingered on Amaka's smile. But then the jealousy returned stronger than ever. "Let's drink," Kamsi said. Just as they reached for the glasses, someone knocked on the door. "I'll get it," Kamsi said quickly, standing up. It was a neighbor asking for something urgent. Kamsi stepped outside briefly, distracted and impatient. When she returned, she didn't think. She simply picked up a glass and took a deep sip. Amaka picked up the other. A few seconds passed. Then a minute. Suddenly, Kamsi felt a sharp pain in her stomach. Her throat tightened. Her breathing became uneven. She dropped the glass. Amaka rushed to her side. "Kamsi, what's wrong?" Kamsi fell to the ground, clutching her chest, her body shaking. And then it hit her. The glass. The poison. She had taken the wrong one. Tears flooded her eyes as fear replaced everything else. It was meant for you," she gasped. Amaka froze in shock. "What are you saying?" I poisoned your drink," Kamsi cried, her voice breaking. "I envied you. All this time, I did things to hurt you. I couldn't stand seeing you succeed." Amaka's heart shattered. "Kamsi, why?" "Because I let jealousy control me," she whispered weakly. "You loved me, and I repaid you with hate." Amaka held her tightly, crying and calling for help. But it was too late. Kamsi's grip loosened. Her voice faded. "I'm sorry. Please forgive me." And with that, she took her final breath. Silence filled the room. The laughter that once defined their friendship was gone, replaced by a painful truth. Amaka wept, not just for the friend she lost, but for the friendship that had been quietly destroyed long before that night. In the days that followed, the entire town mourned. Not just because someone had died, but because envy had turned love into tragedy. Amaka eventually left for her journey abroad, but she carried the story with her. A reminder of how fragile the human heart can be. And from that day on, people told their story as a warning. Envy is a dangerous fire. When you allow it to grow, it doesn't just burn others, it destroys you first.